Welcome to the Clarence Gomez Show, Jonathan. Welcome.
Hello,
Yes.
mabuhay.
Yes, mabuhay. Yes, Philippines.
That's it.
Yes. What is a job of a comedian? It is very easy.
What is a what? So hang on. This connection is so bad, bro. I can hardly hear you. Say again.
What is a job of comedian? It is very easy.
It depends. That's like asking a musician, is music easy? If you've got the talent, I suppose it's something you have to do. The hard part with the comedy is actually selling it, getting the work, monetizing it. That's the hard bit. Doing it is not as hard as actually making money out of it,
Yes.
making a career out of it. That's not easy. But to be honest, most comedians I know are extremely lazy people who are quite happy to work 30 minutes a day.
What is Asia comedy? What Asia comedy?
Yeah, interesting. It's a very new form of comedy for Asia. I guess in the Philippines you've had a lot of influence from the United States, and so the Pinoy and Pinay comedians I've met seem to be much more in the American style. I've worked a lot in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam. A little bit different in style. I think Asian comedy is developing its own voice. There's always been a tradition of comedy in Asia, but stand-up comedy is a particularly Western style. There's no gimmicks, no music, no juggling, no dancing, no singing,
Yes.
no other affectations. It's just microphone, spotlight, and talking.
Yes.
And I've noticed the styles are very different across the region, so there's no really particular Asian style. Indonesians tend to like things that are a little bit absurd. Singaporean comedians like to be very observational.
Yes.
Indian comedians like to use a lot of big words and sound like they're university professors giving a lecture. And so it's really very, very different in different regions.
Philippines is one of the country that most people are happy. Comedy are very popular here in the Philippines. There are many.
I think the Philippines is lucky because they have such a high rate of English spoken, and therefore if you're working in English, you can work anywhere in the world.
Philippines is a former colony of America.
Yes, indeed, and Spain.
So we can learn English easily.
Yeah, you got your funkiness from America and your cooking from Spain, unfortunately.
Yes.
But I find the style of comedy that the Filipino comedians are doing is more closely related to the American style.
Yes.
Whereas the
we are
Indian
influenced by Americans
yes.
when it comes to art, like comedy, drama, theater.
Yeah. I think the style that Indian comedians, for instance, and perhaps Malaysian as well, is more of a British style. A little bit more storytelling, a bit longer stories, less punchy. You've got very different styles of stand-up. You've got your punchline comedians, which are set up, punchline, tag, bang, 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 bang. That's very much the American style. The British style tends to be a bit more whimsical, longer stories, convoluted ideas coming through layers and layers. But because of the internet now, it's all becoming everyone is influenced by everyone now. It used to be very distinctive in differences, but now I think you find there are British comics who are doing very American style, one-liners, and there are American comics who are now starting to do longer stories. Although American comics have trouble with longer stories because it requires a little bit more thinking on behalf of the audience. And your American audience wants quick gratification, fast food, fast medicine, fast ideas, fast talking, not many ideas, presidents, whatever. They want a quick fix. The British tend to be a bit more patient in waiting for a punchline.
Yes. I I saw you on a video in YouTube called Asia Uncut. Do you know that? John Yerman,
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
the guest the guest of the show at that time is Julia Abueva, Cr- Motley Crue, and you perform comedy.
yeah. That was interesting. That was a bit of fun.
2009, 8 or 2008 or 2009.
Yeah,
That
well,
year.
it's unfortunately with television, it spoils comedy because you can't go places you want to go live. Obviously, there are too many restrictions. You have to be family friendly. You can't say anything that's too provocative or too dangerous. So it tends to be a much lighter form of comedy
Yes.
than the live performance. I think stand-up comedy should be live always. You know, it's something that just doesn't work for me on television. There are other forms of comedy that work on television. You know, sketch
Yes,
comedy is very
sketch
funny on
SNL,
television.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
Saturday
yeah,
Night Live.
that's
Sketch.
totally that's made for television.
Yes.
Whereas you look at the monologues that a lot of the TV hosts in America always do, a little stand-up comedy monologue.
Yes.
Most of the time, it's not funny. They're just hitting
Many
topical.
many late night talk show hosts in America are comedians like Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, David Letterman. Most of them are comedians. Even Stephen Colbert.
Mm.
Stephen
I think it's
Colbert.
because in doing stand-up comedy, doing live comedy, you develop a skill for thinking on your feet, you know, and so that makes it really useful in interviews. You can come up with quick jokes, ad-lib a lot more easily. But mind you, looking at the monologues of most of those TV hosts, they probably weren't very great stand-up comedians, but they used the skills of stand-up comedy, and they used them very effectively in the talk show format.
Yes. What is the difference of comedian and actor? Is there a difference on that?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. The actor uses the skills of a liar.
Yes.
Now, I don't mean that in
They
a
are
bad way.
acting.
They
in
are
a
pretending
role.
to be something not. They're convincing you they're something they're not, which is
Yes.
it's a skill. Much like politicians need that skill.
Yes.
Comedians, on the other hand, are about really exposing the truth and their own vulnerability
Yes.
and making fun of that. So that's a lot more open, a lot more honest.
Most of comedian
It's honest, it's more real.
most of comedian in Australia, because when you watch, do you know ABC comedy?
Mm.
When you watch ABC comedy, most comedy show on ABC comedy in Australia are political satire.
Yeah, well, that's very much like that's the ABC in a nutshell. Political and cultural. That's what the
Yes.
TV station's all about. But only about 5 or 10% of the population actually watch the ABC. They're not really indicative of the average Australian,
Yes.
who is not a person who likes to think too deeply. Australian comedy tends to be very broad, very in your face. Our culture is like that anyway. We don't. We're not particularly polite and observing the usual conventions of niceness and politeness. We're very blunt, and our comedy is like that as well.
Yes.
But it's going through changes. I think Australians aren't stupid. They just they don't particularly like to talk about politics because they have no control over it. They'd rather talk about sport.
Yes.
So they also
Sports.
have no control over it, but they like to think they do.
Yes. Sports is very popular in your country, Australia. Australian
Sport is
rugby,
the
Australian rugby, basketball is very popular because in the Philippines, in my country, basketball is very popular. Basketball and boxing. In Australia, what is the popular sports?
Well, in most of the states, in all states of Australia, cricket is popular in summer.
Cricket,
But in the winter, there are 4 different types of football we play
football,
predominantly.
soccer.
So the soccer is a minority sport in Australia.
Yes.
The majority of most of Australia plays Australian football, AFL they call it,
Cricket.
Australian Football League. In my state, New South Wales, and in Queensland, rugby league is the most popular game,
Yes.
and rugby union would be second to that. So it's rugby union, rugby league, Australian football, soccer, and there's a little bit of American football played, but mostly by expatriates, and it's very amateur.
Yes. What is the let's talk about politics in Australia. What is the difference of Liberal Party in Australia and the Democratic Party? Because in Australia, when you say Liberal Party, it is in right wing, but in America, liberal means left wing. Why is the difference of that?
Well, we're talking about
in
the big L Liberal and the little L Liberal. The Liberal Party in Australia is very much like the Republican Party.
Conservative.
The Labor Party used to be
social democracy.
Unfortunately, it's not like that anymore. There's no social democracy in Australia anymore. All the major political parties, the two or three, because the government is a coalition of two parties, they are all basically in the pockets
Liberal
of the
National Coalition.
Multinational corporations, and the people take second place to corporations. The environment is second place to mining and agriculture. So our governments are basically controlled by world financial institutions and multinational companies. So when we say we have a democracy, there's not really any choice. It's Tweedledee or Tweedledum, basically.
This is a plutocracy, means the rich is the most power. Corporatism.
But I think it's the same everywhere in the world. I think politicians are just puppets for invisible forces that actually you can. Some people talk about the Illuminati or the cartels. I don't know if it's that
organized, but conspiracy theory.
We're certainly not told the truth by any political party. So Australians are very cynical. We don't trust our politicians. We don't trust our police. We don't trust authority in general, which is good. Unfortunately, it's changing now. People are becoming puppets. This whole COVID-19.
Yes, in my country, the Philippines, there is a community quarantine happening in my country. But for me,
your country, in your country, in the Philippines, if a political party wishes to dominate its people, it can basically do that. In Australia, we have to trick our people. We trick them with fear. We create enemies that don't exist, like terrorists and viruses, pandemics.
You are wrong about that, because in the Philippines, many politicians here are tricking people. Because in the Philippines, there is a popular kinds of campaign that is by politicians to encourage many people to vote for them. That is called vote buying.
Yeah, well, I think anyone who wants to do the best for humanity would probably be working for a charity. People who join political parties do it because they want personal power. I don't trust any of them personally, and I think I'm in the majority in this country and probably in the world. I think human beings are sick and tired of the lies and the nonsense and the manipulation. And that's where comedy is good, because we can talk about that without actually being revolutionary and without actually
comedy can be a revolution.
Rules.
Yes.
Make it look like a joke. That's what good comedy is. It looks like a joke, but it's serious.
Yes. For me, the best political ideology for me is direct democracy. Because like in Switzerland, if there's a law passed by the parliament, before become it's a law, there will be a referendum. The people decides who yes or no. But in the Philippines, Australia, in America, there are no direct democracy. If the wrong law is passed, sorry, you cannot easily repeal that. You must have, for example, if the liberal government in Australia adopt a tax cut, many people oppose that because it will benefit the rich. The only reason to repeal that is to change the government by parliamentary election. For example, the Labor wants to repeal that tax cut, raising tax. So the people will vote for them and they will change it. But in direct democracy, people can change it anytime using people initiative.
Yeah, well, it's great in theory. I'm not sure that it really works. Switzerland's a very small population. They have over 200 cantonments or electorates, if you like. Each one is represented by someone directly to Parliament. We have a system which is federal Parliament, state Parliament, local government. So there's 3 tiers of government. which are often working against each other, could be of different parties. We need a benevolent dictatorship. There haven't been too many of them in the history of mankind.
But
Anyway, Gaddafi, for instance.
yes, Gaddafi in Libya,
Gaddafi
there
was
is
a
a
great
free
leader.
healthcare, free education in Libya under him.
Yep. Free education, free housing, free health.
Even in
$50,000
Venezuela,
getting married. Water was free. I mean, the Libyan government really looked after its people, but
yes,
because they wanted to pull out of the world banking system and create
yes,
a Pan-African economic system, they were Gaddafi particularly was vilified, slandered, and was portrayed as some kind of evil, satanic dictator. And that was simply to control the oil and the financial resources of Africa. Africa is a great victim of this.
the US wants to overthrow many socialist regime like in Libya, Venezuela, in Yugoslavia, in Ukraine. They want to overthrow that because of the oil. They want to overtake the many sources. They want to use that.
I think the fundamental driving force for American foreign policy is world domination. It always has been.
Neoconservatism is called
You've
that.
only got to look
Neoconservatism.
at the way that the United States supported Adolf Hitler. Both of the British and the Americans set up Adolf Hitler as a buffer against the expansion of communism. The tanks the Germans were fighting us with had engines and motors made in the United States. They were all drinking Coca-Cola. The railroad track into Auschwitz, which took the victims of Holocaust, were laid by American companies. It was a fake war. It was a fake war.
Yes, World War II.
And the only problem
But in World War
they chose a puppet.
II, but in World War II, there is a alliance called the Allies. It called the US, UK, and Soviet Union. Why the US and the UK cooperate with the communist Soviet Union?
You mean after the war?
No, not after the war. Under World War II, when the World War II is happening, they collaborate with the communist Soviet Union, the American and the British government.
Okay, well, basically it comes down to the old saying, my enemy's enemy is my friend.
Yes.
So in a case where Hitler's expansionist policies were moving left and right, unfortunately that was against the ideas of the original plan of the West. The plan was to have Hitler as a buffoon, as a clown, as a puppet, and turned out the puppet had his own ideas, and then he turned on his masters, and in the end, the bankers don't really care. I mean, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and all the rest of them, they don't give a damn. As long as they're making money, they'll sell bombs to anyone. Who do you think was selling bombs to the terrorists? How do you think Bin Laden was trained in espionage? He was a former CIA operative.
Yes.
The Bin Laden family has still got strong ties with the United States. It's all a sham, it's all a rich man's trick.
Did you know, Jonathan, the US is funding Ukrainian neo-Nazi in Ukraine to fight against Russia, because in Donbass, in the eastern Ukraine, the US is funding a neo-Nazi paramilitary group called Azov Battalion. Their job is to murder Russians and many anarchists and communists in that area.
Wouldn't surprise me. I'm just hoping that all these conspiracy theorists who maintain that there are aliens in control, I hope they're right. I hope the aliens show themselves, and maybe we human beings can realize that we are one.
Yes.
And we should stop all this fighting, divide and conquer. Has been the adage of our masters for years, but our masters are invisible. They're not the people we vote for. They're not politicians.
Yes.
They're faceless individuals. There is definitely a small percentage, the 1%, as they call it, 1% at the top, who are just sitting back and laughing at the idiocy of the other 99%, and we're running around looking for face masks to keep out the flu, or having ourselves X-rayed and searched, getting on airplanes because of terrorists who basically are funded by the very people who are opposing these restrictions. So, you just can't believe it anymore.
Yes. uh, this is a revolution funded by the America. It's called color revolutions. Color revolution is a revolution that overthrows many left-wing or left-wing and right-wing regime in the former Soviet Union. Like in Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia is not part of Soviet Union. They are independent nation, but they have a
Well,
leader called Slobodan Milosevic.
Yugoslav. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's an
They
unofficial.
over in year 2000 there are revolution in Yugoslavia that many are right wing. The US is funding many right wing groups in Yugoslavia to overthrow Milosevic. But they are not violent. They are using non-violence tactic. But when I see that, I'm very very angry because Yugoslavia Yugoslavia is a very peaceful nation with many
Well, it's
ethnic
not a
groups.
nation. If you're talking about Croatia or the
Yes,
Serbia,
Croatia,
Serbia,
Serbia, Macedonia, Montenegro,
yeah, I mean,
Slovenia.
they've never been
Their
united.
their leader Milosevic is a very socialist. His policy is very for poor,
I think those lines,
anti-capitalist.
I think those lines are blurred. I think they're irrelevant terms, left and right, so,
Yes,
conservative,
yes,
democratic,
yes,
socialist. They're nonsense terms. They're labels that keep us confused.
yes,
Really, what it's all about, it's about the rich exploiting the resources and
yes,
dumbing down the population to be the slaves for their masters. That's what we are. We're a bunch of slaves.
yes,
Stand-up comedy is one release. Sport is
yes.
another. Times when we can
Comedy,
actually look at something other than the nonsense that's going on and really
comedy
affect our lives.
is a cure for the problems. Yes, comedy is a cure for many problems. Can you
It's not.
perform?
It's an opiate. That's all. It just takes the edge off. It doesn't cure anything. There's no comedian in the world who's ever going to change the world. All he can do is give you, he or she can give you 20 or 30 minutes of release, much like alcohol or drugs, except safer and legal.
Uh, can you perform an comedy performance like in Asia Uncut? You are performing comedy. Can you perform that today? In my birthday, can you perform that comedy?
Yeah. I try to forget.
Yes, yes, because the people are listening in my podcast.
Yeah, no, that was a bit of fun. But to be honest, there again, when you do something on television, you don't know what the editors are going to do to you.
Yes,
They can cut out the important bit that makes the last bit make sense, or they can take out the bit that makes sense and make you look like an idiot. I really don't like television as a medium for stand-up.
Yes.
It's a wonderful medium
Even
for
me, I don't like
stand-up.
television. I don't watch news in TV. I don't watch CNN. In my country, Philippines, there is a GMA and ABS-CBN. I don't watch their news. I watch in YouTube. There are many news like left-wing news. Do you know Green Left?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Green Left, Australia, and the Juice Media in Australia.
Oh, I don't. You know, if you watch every media source, you might get part of the story, but you never get the whole story from anyone.
Yes.
No one's got the story,
Yes.
and really, does it matter? I mean, I think the one good thing about this COVID-19, which has been obviously weaponized as an instrument of fear and control, and I'm not suggesting it was man-made or planned, but it definitely has been manipulated since the breakout of the pandemic. But what it does is gives us time to sit down, not go to work, not slave for someone else, spend time with our family, and consider what's really important in life. And to be honest, I think people are starting to really have second thoughts about what they've been doing with their lives, because they've been wasting them fulfilling someone else's dream. I mean, we should pursue our own dreams.
Before we end, do you want to play a game? Mini game, yes. I will put a picture of a person and you will know it. Do you know this woman? She is a Australian politician. His
That's
name is
Pauline
in letter
Hanson.
B.
Yes,
Yes, Pauline
she's
Hanson.
a fish and chip shop owner. Yes,
She is a racist.
she's an idiot,
Yes.
and I think all racists are idiots. But you know what?
I
The funny
watch
thing about it,
I watch his video on YouTube. She was a contestant in The Apprentice, and she was a dancer in the Dancing with the Stars.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. She's a bit of a national joke. But
Contestant.
I'll be quite honest. I mean, I don't like her politics. I don't like her opinions. I wouldn't like her at my dinner table. But she's one of the few politicians who actually says what she believes. What she believes is nonsense, mind you. But she is actually, in her own way, possibly the most honest politician we've got, and that's scary.
Number 2. This is the next photo. Do you know this comedian? He is a cast of SNL and Portlandia. Do you know this?
No, I don't know who that is. He looks like a chemistry
That's
professor.
Fred Armisen. Fred Armisen.
Okay.
Do you know that Fred
I really don't want
He is
many
a
of them.
comedian.
The only comedians I actually watch are the ones that I work with. I'm not interested. I don't watch YouTube. I don't watch comedy specials. I don't watch Netflix comedy. And for the same reason that I don't have phone sex. I like the reality. If I'm somewhere and there's a comedian performing, I watch whatever language, whatever country. But I don't go and look for it online or on television.
Yes.
So I don't really know that many comics.
Yes.
I know hundreds that I've worked with, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know that many from the media.
This is the last photo. This is the last. Do you know this president? He is a president of Russia. Do you know that?
Vladimir Putin?
Yes, correct.
Or is it a replacement? There's the conspiracy.
Yes. He is a very popular in conspiracy theory. Yes.
He's very popular with a lot of people, actually. Some people think that he is the one who's going to keep America in check, and possibly, I don't think so. I think he's just as bad as the rest of them, to be honest. He's done some interesting things. He's broken the oligarchies, and he's a bit of a megalomaniac, I must say. But then again, maybe you need to be a tough dictator, and that's what he is.
But his policy is very good because his policy is Russia first. He put Russia first before international and foreign policy.
Yeah, but that just comes down to nationalism again, which is another
Yes,
national
he
force.
is a nationalist.
You got to put planet Earth first and put people before that. Really,
Yes.
no one's doing that. Too many vested self-interests, and I don't think Putin is. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know the guy personally. He scares me a lot less than Donald Trump does. He scares me a lot less than Boris Johnson does. He scares me a lot less than my own Prime Minister does. But more than that, I really can't say.
Yes.
And I don't think anyone can, because whatever information we get about him, you can bet your bottom peso it's not true.
Yes. Thank you for guesting.
Well, thank you for letting me enjoy a little slice of Australian cynicism with you. I hope things are going well for you in the Philippines and everyone there. I hope you stay safe and healthy. And just be with the people you love. If you're in lockdown or whatever, do you have a lockdown there? Do you have quarantine or lockdown or that? Yeah, it's tough. But concentrate on the things that matter and get online and learn things. Take up another language. Learn how to do macrame. Do some cooking, whatever. You can really increase your skills at home if you've got the means.
I'm an 18 years old now because I was born in 2002 and my birthday today, and I'm an 18 years old now. And do you know that I have autism? I was born with autism.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't. You don't seem. I don't know. Autism's one of those funny ones. You can spot it or not spot it. You can be Asperger's or autistic. There's varying degrees of the spectrum, right?
I'm not only had autism. I have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I have also ADHD. Not only autism, but I have ADHD.
Well, you go. I tell you what, you want to really address your diet. Diet makes a huge difference. I had a nephew with ADHD, and they just cut out the sugars and the
Yes, chocolate.
gluten. Yeah, and basically, yeah, he really calmed him down a lot. Because at the moment, the pharmaceutical companies are giving you amphetamines, Ritalin and things like that. It's ridiculous. So, don't trust pharmaceutical companies. They are the worst of drug pushers. They should have been shot before the guys selling marijuana.
Yes, thank you for guesting. Yes,
All right,
thank you.
mate. You take care, brother. And happy birthday again.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday. Yes.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.